Hi, Sudara family. This is Shannon Keith here, founder of Sudara, and we are so excited to kick off our celebration of Freedom Week with you all. So we retooled our event as we talked about, and instead of one big event, we are cutting it down into bite-sized pieces, chock full of amazing stories and content that you're not going to want to miss. So thank you so much for being here today, and I'm joined by my good friend and executive director of Sudara Freedom Fund, Glenn Parrish.
Hi, Shannon. It's good to see you. I'm excited to share this week with our Sudara family. There's so many good things going on. I was thinking back to when we met in around 2006. You had just started Sudara, and 15 years later, we're still at this. And what keeps you going in this?
Oh, it's such a good question, but it's really an pretty easy answer. And it's just the passion and resolve for women and children's dignity, really around the world, but specifically in India, and being with such an amazing team on the Sudara family, friends like you, Glenn, our amazing staff, and our customers and donors who are all super passionate about equity and about helping women and children. So that's really what fires me up every day, is that collaboration and just our mission that's remained really steadfast for the past 15 going on 16 years now.
One of the things we've been trying to do this year is really go on a kind of listening tour, to making sure that we're listening to all of our constituents, all of our partners. We interview the women on the ground who are receiving training or services to see how they're doing. Are they helped? We've heard from some of our donors and customers, but we really just want to hear from everyone to show to see how we can walk better with each other in this partnership. And so how's that going to happen this week?
I love that, Glenn. A listening tour is such a great, picture. And this week, it's going to happen because that's exactly what we want. So we're putting it out there. So everyone listening, whether it's live or you've come upon this on our website, we want to interact with you. And there's a variety of ways we can do that. And we just basically want to meet you where you are. So you can start by putting things in the comments. If you have a question, you want to dig deeper, we're going to be really active and engaged in the comments with our staff. And so you can just comment that, you love this, you've been a customer, or you don't know anything, and this is the first time you're a college student, you're just learning about it. How can you get more involved? Be in the comments. We're going to interact with you. And then we can take, some deeper and longer conversations offline. But thank you for asking that question, because everyone that's out there, we want to hear from you. We want to answer your questions. We want to hear, how are you being touched in your own lives? What's going on with you and how you're being transformed? We want to hear from you, because it is, how do we walk alongside together for the change in the world that we're looking? And that starts within each of us, inside of our hearts. And from there, it blooms out to the world.
This past year has been a really challenging year, particularly in India, but also for us here, everyone globally. Why was this so important for us to be involved in India this year? What happened?
I think the pandemic has been kind of a moment of reckoning for everyone. Like you said, it is worldwide, and yet it really highlighted the fact that marginalized and oppressed populations are disproportionately affected when something like this happens. And so it really put an exclamation point that our mission is so important, and that oppressed women and children are not to be marginalized and forgotten anymore. That with the kind of the racial and the equitable, reckoning that we're having here in our country and around the world, that there is no better time than this moment right now to meet the moment and to be committed as stakeholders to a mission that's so near and dear to our heart, which is really just basic human dignity for women and children.
Yeah, I know when we were talking with our partners on the ground in India in the spring, that so much was happening with the lockdown that happened there, and people passing away, women suddenly being single moms, children losing both their parents, and people just needing food. And so we pivoted with our partners, and our Sudara fam stepped up, and over 15,000 food packets were distributed. That provided for these families, at least 10 days of food for them to piece together getting through the lockdown and back into society and getting job training and all the other sorts of things that we invest in. It's pretty hopeful. And it was great to see. I'm just thinking about this, and what are some of the practical things that we're going to invest in with these resources that come through this week? You want to share some of those things?
Yeah, it's such a good question. And I was really, I love that word that you use, hopeful, when our Sudara family stepped up and when all of you out there listening stepped up and responded to the call. I mean, it was basically a battle cry of, hey, there's a right now need. The Delta variant is wiping out India in huge ways, particularly the population that we serve. And to see both customers and donors rally and step up was really heartening. And that was the collective impact that we're able to do together in just 1 week. And so that was a week in the spring. And as we look forward to this week, we're saying, let's do it again, because our mission is too important not to have a laser focus on what we can accomplish together. And so, as you mentioned, there are a lot of unintended consequences that you just don't know that happen from a global pandemic. And beyond just the basic of people getting sick and dying, that's really dire and important. But we don't realize that some of those folks that are getting sick and dying are single moms. And so then the ripple effect is that leaves orphans and teenage girls really susceptible to traffickers as a secondary tragedy and trauma happening out of the pandemic. And so we get to come alongside and support this group of newly orphaned and at-risk kids and teens in a way that wasn't a thing maybe before the pandemic. And so we together, that is going to be a really laser focus area for us at Sudara, both where our customers can donate to provide for their care and their education, but then also for some of those older teen women, they get to go into the skills training programs that we have, and they get to stand on their own 2 feet so they won't be susceptible to trafficking. And that's the power of Sudara and the products that we sell that'll be at play.
Yeah, I'm really grateful that we're able to, with our partners, take in newly orphaned children, provide job training and housing for those newly orphaned teen girls who are really at risk, and then also provide job skills training for newly single mothers and then free education for their children. So this is this really practical, hopeful stuff that comes out of this. I'm reminded of a story we just heard from our partners of a woman and her daughter who were run out of their village after the dad passed away from HIV/AIDS, and the villagers basically chased them out of the village. And a Catholic nun found this woman and her daughter and brought her to our partner, the John Foundation. And now the young woman is receiving job skills training, and she just graduated and got a job at the largest hospital in Hyderabad. And she is now doing data entry and can support both her and her mom after the tragedy that hit them. What does it mean to you when we talk about our mission in this way? We're like, for our customers, our donors, you donate, we partner, women thrive. Or you purchase, we partner, women thrive. What does that mean to you?
I think the story that you just said was such a powerful example of that, Glenn, because there was partnership and collaboration all across the board. In that, this tragedy happened. This young woman and her mother found themselves, basically out on the streets. And so with that nun stepping in, that shows partnership. Right. And then transformation that was able to happen in this like full circle of redemption. And so we do think of our customers and our donors as partners, as collaborative strategic partners. And so when people come to the table to support the Sudara family here, when they support through both donations and product purchases, that creates a revenue to be able to do really systemic, life-changing, programmatic things in India that wouldn't have happened without those funds. And so when people partner and donate, we get to partner not only with them, with our customers partnering, doing something good, but we get to partner with the John Foundation, who then partners with Women and Children at Risk, who partners with that Catholic nun. There's just this very robust series of collaborations. And then out of that, it isn't just one action, it's all of those collective actions that then women are able to thrive. And it really does start with those donations and purchases that create the revenue and then everything that happens in between. And so we look at our Sudara family as just that, a family with lots of different players playing different parts, but all working together to do something that we could never accomplish alone, something so much bigger than ourselves.
Yeah. I know one of the things we're going to do this week is really travel to India virtually and visit with one of our key partner organizations, the John Foundation. Why is this partnership on the ground so important?
I mean, that's really where the magic happens, right? Is right there, where within the cultural context, within the language. And so without our Indian partners, we couldn't do any of this. We wouldn't want to do any of this. And so that partnership is really a mainstay. And we want all of our customers, all of our donors who are making things happen to see what are their purchases and donations going to. And with an amazing strategic partner like the John Foundation, they're able to work within their own government policies, within the cultural context, and meet women and children where they're at, in their own language, in their own communities, within their own culture. And that's the beauty of transformation. It really is about all of us working together. And so I'm so excited for this week to see a little bit today. Right now, we have some amazing footage from Beulah and Saji and Ben at the John Foundation, and also tomorrow. So we're going to get little snippets of really what is that collective impact that we're all making actually doing in India. So exciting.
Family, I am Sajid John, and I work as the trustee for the John Foundation and Asha Jyoti here in India.
Hi, Sudara family. I'm Beulah John. I work as the director for all the income generation projects here.
Hello everyone, my name is Benedict John and I work as the CEO of John Foundation and Asha.
Our main goal at John Foundation definitely is to empower women. Now, through our partnership with Sudara, we are not only empowering women through our skills training, but also women working at our garment factory. Now, at our garment factory, we have about 25 women that work for us and produce goods for Sudara. Now, a lot of these women do not have any background of education. They are poor families and they have been married off at a very early stage. Now, even though they are in that situation, because they are working at our garment factory, they are still able to support themselves as well as their families.
Like you just heard about the children and women under our care, the need here in India is huge. We're not talking about a small number. We have hundreds of thousands of kids and women who are in danger or vulnerable to trafficking every day. And for us as an organization to be able to meet that need, for us as an organization to look at supporting them not just for the next 2 or 3 years, but for the next 10 or 15 years is something that is critical, is something that is important to us, something that we're thinking about in the long term. And in order to do that, if we want to achieve long-term impact, one thing that we believe is important is, as an organization, we need to be generating our own income. We need to be building an organization that is self-sustainable if we want to look at long-term impact. And so with regard to that, Sudara plays a key role. Sudara, as well as other brands like Sudara who work with us at our garment factory, play a key role in enabling us as an organization pursue this goal of self-sustainability, this goal of income generation. Because like I said, if we want to really change the situation here in India, we need to be thinking big. We need to be thinking long-term. And I believe in order to be able to meet that need, we need to be building organizations that are self-sustainable, impact organizations that can generate their own income. And so for me, this partnership with Sudara is really valuable because it enables us to be able to do that, to start thinking not just of the next 2 or 3 years, but the next 5 or 10 years in order to continue to meet the huge need here in India.
So I'm so happy we were able to hear a little bit more from the John Foundation and what's going on the ground there in India. Tomorrow, it's going to be really exciting. You're not going to want to miss it because we'll actually have footage of Beulah touring some of the skills training centers. So you'll get to meet a little bit more of the women and the children actually served on the ground in India. But I love how Ben wrapped up with the fact that this is a big deal. Right? We're doing big things. We're talking about long-term sustainability. This isn't just a flash in the pan issue, and we're actually making traction as an organization, partnering with you and partnering with our partners like the John Foundation in India. And so thank you for being here with us this week. It's so exciting. It is our Celebration of Freedom Week. And as we talked about, in lieu of a one-event fundraiser, we are using this as our year-end fundraising campaign. And so our goal this week is $75,000. We are hoping that you feel compelled and want to be part of that mission. And if you do, we would encourage you to go to sudarafreedomfund.org at any time and make that commitment. You can talk about it with your family. If you have year-end giving or are part of a family foundation and you want to have larger conversations, we would welcome those as well. So you can reach out to us at info@sudara.org anytime. And we do have giveaways that'll be happening every day. And to be part of that, you just need to engage with us, like the video that you're seeing, and please place a comment. That will be kind of your ticket to entry in terms of our giveaways, is commenting about what you're seeing and how you're interacting and what you're loving about what you're seeing happening in India. We do have one more special segment as we wrap up our time here with Beulah, because we are going to be auctioning off a special auction item. So I'm going to turn it back over to Beulah to tell you all about that.
Today's sustainable fashion is very, very important in the fashion world. Sustainable fashion is important because through sustainable fashion, we're reducing waste that is created in our society. Through sustainable fashion, we reuse and recycle a product that has already been there in the market. Through our partnership with Sudara, we have upcycled various products for Sudara and the Sudara family. One such product is a sari that we have upcycled into beautiful products such as kimonos, scarves, and various other things that we have sold on Sudara website. Today, we're auctioning off one such sari, this beautiful Georgette sari that has gorgeous thread work on each flower as well, and we are going to be recreating it into whatever you would like to create out of it. Maybe it's a kimono, maybe it's a shrug, maybe it's a scarf, but we will create something specially for you. And so this is the beautiful sari that we're auctioning off.
As you can see, we're really excited about our special auction item that Beulah just said, the sari that can be made into anything that you want. We are going to have that as a rolling bidding item all week, and we will culminate with live bidding on Friday. So you can start the bidding now. Just put it in the comments. We're going to bid it up all week, and it's going to be a one-of-a-kind, unique, beautiful gift that you can have for yourself or as a gift this holiday season. One piece of news that's really exciting is that we have a corporate sponsor for our Celebration of Freedom Week, and that is the Wet Paint Group. And they've already donated a $5,000 commitment towards our cause and our $75,000 goal for the week. So thank you, Wet Paint Group. And we're hoping that many of you join them. So again, you can just put it in the comments and go to sudarafreedomfund.org and make your donation at any time all throughout the Celebration of Freedom Week. So again, that's sudarafreedomfund.org. You'll see it as well, a link in the comments. And speaking of holiday shopping, it's right upon us, and we would just love for you to direct some of your dollars with your holiday shopping at sudara.org. So beautiful gifts for the whole family, pajamas, loungewear, and some special collective items that are just fantastic for gift giving this holiday season. And that will also make a huge sustainable long-term impact that Ben was talking about. So tomorrow's theme, again, is a virtual trip to India. You're not going to want to miss it. More of Beulah, more of the impact on the ground. We're so excited that you're here with us to celebrate freedom and can't wait to see you tomorrow.
Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to get reminded when new content is available.